Hello, I'm continuing with my one-armed gaming due to my operation that I've had on my arm. I'm sort of trying to hold the camera with my right arm, but I can't hold it very high, so that's a bit difficult. But yeah, while I've been trying to recover, I've been playing a game. And you get like different sort of categories of games. I think you get games that are popular, that deserve to be popular because they're good. You get games that are popular that don't deserve to be popular. For example, the old, not the new FIFA games because they're actually good, but the old FIFA games are always popular even though they weren't the greatest football games out there. Then you get sort of a category of games that are really hyped up, but they're not bad games, but they're disappointing. And then you get games that are just bad. Well, you get bad games that are bad, and then you get hyped up games that are bad. But for me, they're both the same thing. For example of a hyped up game that's bad is Duke Nukem Forever. That's just rubbish. So this game I'm going to talk about, I've been playing it for about 4 or 5 hours, and it's one of them games that's hyped up, but I say hyped up, it wasn't really that badly hyped up, but you know, it was a game that didn't do that well. In my opinion, it didn't deserve to do that well, just because of the amount of time it's had in development and what it says on the front of the box basically. And that game is Rage. And what I refer to when I say what it says on the front of the box, I'm actually referring to from the creators of Doom and Quake, which are both landmark computer games, and this just isn't. It's a good game, don't get me wrong. Instantly, the first game when you start playing this that you're going to compare it to is Fallout 3, and obviously Fallout New Vegas. There are little references in the game. For example, there's a Vault Boy, little like statue model thing that you pick up in I think it's a mayor's or the sheriff's office. Yeah, the reason why for me it's disappointing is, like I say, instantly you compare it to Fallout 3. Obviously the two completely, well, I say completely, apart from the setting, the two completely different games. But the problem for me with this game is, I know that graphics don't make a game, but there just seems to be some sort of like texture popping problem. I don't know, some sort of severe texture compression going on. And compared to something like Fallout 3 and what other games is there out there, probably Far Cry 2 you can sort of compare it to. Them games there wasn't really any noticeable sort of texture popping, whatever you want to call it, where you'll like quickly turn to face one direction and then there'll be like a second or two delay before the high res textures load. It was a similar problem in Duke Nukem Forever. However, in that game it was just at the start of the level, you know, it'd take 4 or 5 seconds and then the rest of the level would be fine once the textures had loaded. So that's a disappointment for me. Apparently I read somewhere that this game had been in development before Fallout 3 was in development, so I mean it's had a long time of development to sort something so basic out. Saying that, one thing I did notice was there aren't many loading screens, but personally I'd rather take the loading screens and not have sort of texture resolution issues. So on to the actual game. So far it's solid, it's a good setting. The weapons now, the thing that's disappointing for me is, like I say on the front, it says from the creators of Doom and Quake. So you think the one thing that would be sorted in this game would be the combat and the weapons. And so far, with my 4 to 5 hours gameplay, I'm disappointed. It seems that it just takes too many shots to shoot an enemy, even if you're using shotgun. I mean, you know, Doom, Quake, shotgun, you know, it's the best weapon to use throughout the game, well, in my opinion, and I'm sure some other people's opinions as well. So yeah, you just expect, you know, from an ID game to have decent weapons, and it just seems like, you know, you need to shoot, you know, like the most basic enemy needs shooting about 3 times with a shotgun to get rid of them, you know what I mean. Another thing is, when a enemy's got like a weapon in the hand, you can't pick that up, it just disappears. It, you know, does the old disappearing body trick of, you know, that you used to have in games like GoldenEye on the N64. I mean, you know, it's PlayStation 3, it's current gen, you don't expect that sort of thing. So yeah, that's my opinion on the combat. The game, it is sort of interesting because to me it's sort of like a cross between Fallout and MotorStorm, because there's like a sort of little emphasis on your buggies and off-road vehicles. Pardon me. Yeah, so it's sort of like a more combat focused version of Fallout 3 crossed with MotorStorm. Sounds ridiculous, but that's what it is. Yeah. So yeah, it's basically a good solid game, but like I say, this falls into the category of sort of hyped, but falls short. You know, stuff that would have been easy to fix, just, you know, weapons cause more damage, sort the textures out, you know, and then you might have had an awesome game on your hands. I mean, it is a good solid game so far, but it's nothing amazing. So that's just my opinion on Rage for the PlayStation 3, also available on PC and Xbox 360. So let me know what you think.